حبيب الله إمام المرسلين حبيب الله إمام المرسلين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. As promised, we will continue talking about the Enlightenment, the Renaissance, right? And the project to subvert the truth and its connection with the scamdemic and our conflict with the pharmaceutical industry. Boy, that's a mouthful, subhanallah. But these things must be discussed, right? We have to put things into context. And one of the reasons why we can't, make the correct decisions about what's happening in the world is because we're not looking at things in context, right? We're not taking a step back and putting things in relation to others, right? We isolate stuff and we just look at things by themselves. But you have to look at things as part of the bigger project. And that's why, for me, if anything there is that I can offer, it's to look into the past, right? Look at something like the Enlightenment. Look at our obsession with the mainstream. Look at all of these ideologies, and like I say, the exoteric and the esoteric apparatus, right, of Shaitan and subhanallah of Dajjal, right? This is the foreshadowing of Dajjal. So subhanallah, what do we have? We have the pharmaceutical industry. And the pharmaceutical industry is the vehicle by which Western medicine has spread its tendrils all over the world, right? That it has become the standard. That's an ideology. But it's interesting, subhanAllah, that the root is found in something called germ theory. Louis Pasteur and his germ theory revolution. And germ theory, you might think that this is just goes without saying. This is just part of the world we live in, right? But it's very recent, right? Maybe just nearly 200 years old, right? But before then, subhanAllah, what existed? What, the world didn't exist? There wasn't any civilization, pre 18th century, was it colonial supremacy? SubhanAllah, you had Islam, right? For 1,000 years, Islam was flourishing across the world. Science and mathematics and subhanallah, engineering and architecture and art and poetry was spreading across the Muslim world and kind of enriching any way it touched, right? And there you had something called terrain theory, right? That is the Islamic way. And I want everyone to understand that we need to look at traditional Islam, and we need to, again, like I say, the haqiqat of the experiential reality of the Quran and the Sunnah should be taking precedence now, because it's very clear the subversion and the lies of Dajjal and the system that we're living in is pushing us, right, to adopt these these false realities, right? So all we have to do, the solution is just it's upside down, just turn it back on its head again, right? So I give you the example, right? Hijama seems to be, subhanAllah, catching up everywhere, right? Everyone's doing hijama. But how many NHS hospitals will provide hijama to you? If this is life-saving treatment, subhanAllah, shouldn't that be on every street corner? In proper sanitized and beautifully lit and resourced and equipped clinics? No, of course not, because hijama is a homeopathic remedy that anyone can do. You don't need 8 years of medical training and basically crap to be able to to put a cup on someone and suck their skin, right? SubhanAllah, this is the Islamic way to take toxins and toxic material out of the system, right? And it's cost effective. Anyone can do it. SubhanAllah, this is the Islamic way. Like ruqya, anyone can do ruqya, right? The solutions that Allah has given to us. Anyone can pray. Anyone can read the Quran. Anyone can, subhanAllah, lead the salah, right? But the Dajjalic way, the Shaitanic way, the post-Renaissance way is that there is only, you have to go through you have to be kind of inducted into a certain society before you can, gain some kind of priesthood to do these things, right? And that is the germ theory revolution, Louis Pasteur and his enshrinement of the pharmaceutical industry, right? It's all about putting stuff and gunk into your body, right? To fight fire with fire, as they say, yeah? But what they do is to remove one thing, they introduce 10 other things, right? And it's all to perpetuate the system. And I want people to understand that that is symptomatic, or that is representative of the greater, bigger picture. The same thing is happening in science. The same thing is happening in history. The same thing is happening in paleontology and astrophysics, right? That's why I say that the Renaissance project, the Enlightenment, is a massive behemoth machine made of uncountable moving parts. These things are so big, and they envelop, or they encompass such a vast space of history, right? But sometimes by unraveling at a little thread, the whole tapestry is undone, right? So that's why, inshallah, if it is you searching at terrain theory versus germ theory, then bismillah, may that be your thread. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.